Hello, my Let's Talk family. Welcome back to another edition of Let's Talk 1943. I am your host, Regina Smithwick, and first and foremost, I would like to say to you, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Looking forward to a whole nother year with great guests and to be able to promote businesses, services, and people products. And so this is another one, but this is like really dear to a lot of people, and this is a more on a serious level. But we wanted to talk to Themene Murphy, and we're going to get into that with her and talk about domestic violence. And she'll tell us a little bit about her story and how it came for her to start her organization. So, as I always say, you ready? Let's talk. We are We are back. So welcome back to Let's Talk. And I will officially introduce our guest. So Themene Murphy, she is actually, and thank you for being on the show today. I
Thanks
appreciate
for
you
having
coming.
me.
Oh, no problem. She has a company or organization called My Healing Within, and she's going to get a little bit more in depth with that today. And so, once again, welcome to the show, and kind of give us a little bit of background about how it came to and what you're doing now with your organization.
Well, thanks again for allowing us to come and talk about our organization, My Healing Within, INC. We are a organization that we advocate for and empower domestic violence survivors by providing free, safe, and confidential and support, shelter and support for these ladies, and not just for the ladies, but also for their children. I
Mhm.
am a domestic violence survivor as well. It only happened one time, but one time is too many.
Mhm.
I was attacked on April the 27th, 2017 by my ex-husband. And it was a day that I will never forget. It happened to start about that morning, regular day. And about 7:03, I remember seeing on the news in the corner, um, and I heard a voice. Now that I know it was God telling me to get out the house at 7:03, He told me to get my stuff and go to work,
Mhm.
but I didn't.
Oh.
And I sat there because I literally worked about 5 minutes away from my house at the time in Greensboro, North Carolina, and I continued to sit there. About 7:09, again, I saw the time, and my daughter um, was asking me a question. My ex husband was talking, and um, I was, hearing this voice. This voice now was so powerful. It was like, "Get up, walk out with Courtney, walk out." And so I was just shook because it was so, like I said, it was so powerful, and everyone was talking to me at one time. She was asking me if she can come home on the bus or go to after school. He been having some health issues. He had a couple strokes and things like that. So he was back in the house, living there until he got his stuff on going with disability and things like that.
Mhm.
And so she been coming home, and so he was telling her, no, go to, before I can answer, go to after school. So I dismissed the voice again, said my goodbyes to my daughter, kissed her, and she went outside to wait for the bus. I sat there till about 7:20 something, 25ish. I started getting up, getting my lunch bag together, things like that, snacks and stuff, looking in the cabinet, and I felt about a minute or two later, I felt a a powerful hit, not thinking that it was behind my head. I thought that I'm the one who did it by opening up the cabinet or something. But he hit me on the back of my head multiple times with a hammer. Um, I was calling out to him. I was seeing stars. My glasses got knocked into the dining room, and he was coming at me with a knife, and he multiple times stabbed me and he was trying to stab me. He stabbed me in my right breast. The doctor said if he stabbed me in my left breast in the same spot, he would probably had punctured my heart,
Mm-hmm.
and I would not be here talking to you right now. I got stabbed in the stomach. I was reaching for trying to block the knife, and my right hand was cut up. My thumb was hanging off. It was cut all the way from here all the way down to my wrist. All my fingers was cut up. My left ring finger was broken. You can see how it was
Mm-hmm.
crooked. Everything. I was in surgery for probably about 7 hours just for
Oh.
my hands. Just my hand. My hands saved my life. Um, Only fingers that was not wrapped up and had to do surgery was the two left, the thumb and the pointer finger on my left hand. Everything else was, they had spent 4 hours on my right hand and 3 hours on my left hand. It's like I said, it started about 7:30, almost 7:30. I wasn't able to escape until about a quarter till 3. The kids was coming back off the bus. Same bus that my daughter left on. They was getting out of school and came back. That's how I was able to escape. When the kids was getting off, a lady behind us, my neighbor's grandson was getting off the bus, and I didn't go to the neighbor beside me because I knew he worked third shift, and I was just able to get to the door. I just been praying that day, God help me get to the front door, and I did. And I told him to go tell his grandmother, and she stayed in the corner sack, so I had to go past the house beside me and go down. And she's walking out, and she was like, "I don't see, I don't see no lady covering blood. What are you talking about?" And when she looked to the right, she saw me coming to her, and she ran to me. She was like, "Oh my God!" And I just fell in her arms because I knew that, of course, he couldn't kill both of us. She had a house full of people, full of kids. So I knew that it would, some help will be able to, come.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward, I did a lot of therapy. I had not just mental therapy, but also physical therapy for my hands. I had to learn how to write again. I had to learn how to hold, wash myself, everything. I had to have people to help me because I couldn't go to the bathroom by myself. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because of course I couldn't wipe
Couldn't right.
couldn't do anything if my family and friends who helped me out didn't cut up my food enough for me to pinch it with these two fingers. I would not be able to eat by myself. Someone had to feed it to me. It was very hard. People that know me know I'm a very independent person, so it's very hard. So I didn't even know we had crystals in the back of our heads. He knocked the crystals. I had over 50 staples in my head, and it was probably more than that. They stopped counting at 50 when they was pulling them out, and so I lost a lot of blood. I didn't need a blood transfusion. They thought I would have to. I actually had on a royal blue shirt on that day with white letters, brand new shirt, and it was black. It was black or like a dark navy. That's how much blood I had lost.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was blood everywhere in my kitchen. It was on the ceiling, on the floor. Um, it was a lot. But God.
Oh God.
So I thank God for me being able to start this organization. I've been wanting to do something how I can give back, because I only had it done to me one time. But learning through therapy and stuff, I was abused throughout my whole marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Not just I wasn't abused physically, but I was
Mentally.
abused mentally,
Mm-hmm.
emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout my marriage, it was cheating,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people, no one knew. No one knew. So except for one of my girlfriends, and it was really hard because I really truly believe in marriage. My
Mm-hmm.
parents been married for this year I think maybe 55 years, and they dated for 2 years and 9 months before
Mm-hmm.
that. So I saw a positive. Not saying everything was always roses every day.
Yeah.
years,
Oh yeah, of
I
course.
saw, two-parent home, and I
Mm-hmm.
believe in that. Um, so, I stuck in there, trying to make things work and things like that. We did split up for 5 years before trying it again, and nothing was physical with us. When he came back, I did it for my daughter. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so, but I wanted to give back to the community. I wanted to give someone that hope that, okay, it's not over. Your life is not over.
Mm-hmm.
Just because
Mm-hmm.
this happened, you can um, you can't see the end of the rainbow. You
That's
can't be a better person. I'm not
right.
saying it's just like an alcoholic. Like I was
Mm-hmm.
telling one of my friends, I think what my sister was telling her, and you would we are broken, just like an alcoholic. It's like
Mm-hmm.
one day at a time. We always gonna be a victim.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Not
Yeah.
saying that we're gonna be a person that is gonna be hit on and gonna take it. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is we still live in it.
Right. Right.
You never
With
know our triggers.
right. Your trigger. Yeah.
We have triggers. And so, with ladies and with men, even men, they get abused. It's not talked about as much as it is with a woman. A lot of men
Mm-hmm.
don't report it. But
Yeah.
1 in 3 women is abused by an intimate partner. And then 1 in 3 children, they have been around it and they've seen it and they grow up to be abusers.
Right.
So it's a lot of statistics out there that I don't want. My daughter, thank God she wasn't home. He had told me while he was on top of me for all those hours, because we were fighting over the hammer, and nothing but God for allowing me to be able to hold that hammer, for him not to finish me off. But he had told me that he was going to kill me the night before, but he didn't want my daughter to wake up and find me dead.
Wow.
So I thank God that he was still thinking about her
Mm-hmm.
in some way.
Right. 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 It's like a blessing inside of the
Yeah,
map.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I have
um,
a question before
mhm,
you continue because there was a couple things that raised up on me. I, I it's just amazing that when you first started the story, you were saying that God was already talking to you, right?
yeah,
And isn't it amazing when he talks to you? You always ask for him to talk to you, but when he does, you question. Because you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like when it happens, you going like it can't be because I don't know what it is with us. I don't know if it's just a human thing. I don't know what it is, but that sounds so familiar. And then you said to that you was in there for all those hours
Hmm.
and he stayed with you, he was with you this whole time because like you said it could have been easy for him just to hit you in the right spot in your head with a hammer just to be done with it, but for you to you said it was almost an 8 hour a school day,
Hmm.
he was
Yep.
with
From
you.
7:30 till the kids came back. The bus came back about a quarter till 3, 10 till 3. That's
That-
when I was able to.
that's what I'm saying, but that whole time you was there for hours,
Yeah, yeah,
and it's like God was just there because there's no way somebody could sit there for 8 hours and he already did so much damage for him to not complete it
yeah,
in 8 hours.
yeah. And what was keeping me? I was praying. I was praying out loud. I was saying the Lord's
That's
prayer.
right.
I was saying the 23rd song, and he was like, "Stop that! Stop that! Stop that praying! Stop that praying!" And and I'm like, "Why are you doing this?" I kept on asking him why. Like, what did I do? I was just trying to get out the house. I didn't know how I looked because I knew I couldn't feel nothing no more in my hands. I mean, my hands were so numb. Like I said, it was nothing but God for allowing me to continue to hold that hammer,
Right.
because I couldn't feel nothing. It's just you go numb.
Wow.
I didn't feel the pain no more after the first couple of grabbing that knife. It was just cutting in. It kept on cutting, kept on cutting. It was cutting all the way down. Um,
Right. I
to my
mean, it
rib.
just and then you said something about the mental part that you when you went to therapy, and I think a lot of women, and even women who have not been physically abused,
Mhm.
need to hear that.
Oh yeah,
When
most
you went to
definitely.
when you went to therapy, you said you realized that he was doing this to you for years. But we kind of fall into this. normacy with it. Like it's supposed to be okay because we're too busy trying to hold on to something. Because I'm telling you, I know your story when it comes to that part. Because I didn't want to get divorced because my parents were married for 50 something years. And
Mm.
I didn't want to, I was like, I don't know what that is. What I'm saying? I want to be able to fix it because I want my kids to have that stable home. And then you try to do that. And in the midst of doing that, you sacrifice yourself.
Yes, most definitely.
So,
Most definitely. I
yeah.
even told my sister, my sisters, I was telling them that I felt like something was wrong with this
Hmm.
because all of us been divorced. Two of my sisters been divorced twice.
Hmm.
So it's like, is something wrong with us? And they're like, no, we are very strong minded
Hmm.
and women that, we're not gonna take too much.
Hmm.
But I'm like, it got to be something. I even tell my girlfriend, I'm like, I said this, and they said the same thing to me. They was like, what you mean? You got to think about it, that, marriage, and people don't value the vows like they used to.
Right.
Like back in the day, my mom them got married in the 60s. So back in the day, not saying my mom or my dad or whoever was not,
Well, nobody's perfect, but
perfect, right?
they see
But
they see it
but
differently.
they knew,
Hmm.
even like growing up, and remember I was a little girl. My grandmother, my grandfather had a baby on her, and with she was only the young lady that she had the baby was only a teenager. And I was like, Grandma, why you didn't? I remember I was like probably 10, 11 years old. And I'm like, Grandma, why you didn't leave him? And she was like, baby, people don't do that back then. I had children. And she did. She had, it's like 14 of my dad, on my dad's side.
Yeah, my
Uh,
parents like that too.
yeah. So, and it was probably, she already probably had a good 8, 9, 10 kids by then. Um,
Right, but that you oh my goodness. And
yeah.
see, but that's the thing. And we have to realize that we gotta kind of do what's right for us,
Hmm.
first of all. And we have to realize that, we gotta do work on ourselves. Nobody deserves the domestic violence, nobody deserves the mental and the physical. Nobody that walks on this earth should not be hit. You should not hit anyone. You should keep your hands to yourself,
Yep.
period. But when it comes to taking so much, we have to take accountability on that part of uh why did I allow this to happen for years? Because I didn't even know it was happening. You don't know until
Yep.
you get help.
Yep.
And
You
that's
always think that somebody else's story is different. Like when we
right.
split up for those 5 years, I was going to, it's a place in Greensboro called the Women's Resource Center off
Hmm.
of Yanceyville. And I went there, and I was like, these ladies it was like kind of like a self-help support group. And these ladies was in marriages for 20 some years, and they was getting beaten on. And in my mind, I was like, oh, my story ain't like them, he don't hit me. But I didn't know that I was being
Emotionally
financially
hit.
emotionally hit and
Hmm.
financially hit,
Hit.
because he was a great provider.
Hmm.
Great provider. I didn't have to work if I didn't want to. I
Hmm.
was going to stay out for the first 3 years of my daughter's life, but I got bored at home and I went back to teach.
Hmm.
So I really, like you were saying, you got to put yourself first, and no one deserved to get hit or anything. I'm a kindergarten teacher, and that's one of my mottos in my classroom. Treat people like you want to be treated.
That's
If
right.
you don't want them to hit you, don't you hit them.
And
You
I give it to you and I commend you because if I haven't, well, I didn't give you a backdrop. She's my sorority sister, so I have known, that's right, all day. I have known her for years. I known her like maybe a good 2 years before this happened. And then when everything went down, and I saw her afterwards, after she was getting back out and about, and she was wrapped up, and she had bandages everywhere and walking slow, and you just go, oh my God, she is so strong. You know what I'm saying? She is so strong because she still had her daughter, and she was still doing right, doing what she had to do for her child. And I just give you that. I just want to give you your flowers because you are amazing. I know a lot of people lay down and been done. They would have been done.
Oh yeah,
Because after what you went through, people have been going to the victim mode and talking about, well, you don't know what happened to me, and
yeah,
going to that sorry.
yeah.
And you really did go through it because that's like this life. You've kind of like, why me? Why me?
Mhm.
But you came and you persevered and you went through it, and now you are at the point that you're at my healing within.
Yeah.
So
I,
you went through all of that, and then so where at the point that after you finish healing physically, because I know emotionally it takes time, where do you go? Okay, now I'm gonna turn this, take it, and I'm gonna flip it over his head on his head, and I'm gonna help people like me.
um, so it took some time for me to get healing because, like I said, I was going through all of this and had to depend on a lot of people. I was suicidal.
I know.
Like, honestly, it was hard for me when I moved down here to Greenville, North Carolina. And it was really hard for me to move back here. I was in Greensboro pretty much half of my life. I went up there, A&T, for 18 years,
Mhm.
when I was 18, and then, stayed up there for 18 years. So, my sister and them, they had to hide my pills because of course, they give you some powerful pills because I wanted to kill myself. I wanted to, because I felt like I didn't see the end. I
Right.
didn't see where I'm at now. I didn't think I would get there.
Hmm.
I just felt sorry for myself. How about asking somebody, can you take me to the bathroom?
Yeah. That
Um,
plays on your emotions.
oh yeah, very much so. I thought he was right. I thought my ex-husband was right that I don't need to be here, that I don't need to be living.
Hmm.
So, but moving forward, I started this. I always type of person. I love to help people. I have a big heart. I love
Hmm.
to do whatever I can for people. And I wanted something with healing in it.
Hmm.
And but everything that I wanted my healing house.
Hmm.
I had different things with healing. I said the word got to have healing in it
Hmm.
because I'm healing.
Hmm.
I'm healing. I want these ladies to heal, not from just from the outside. Because if I didn't tell you, if you didn't know me, Sarah, and you saw me just walking by,
You want to know?
you wouldn't know
I want to
unless
know.
you really deeply look in my hand and see the scars.
And
Or
I would have known that anyway. You could have been in a car accident, or you could
yeah,
fail or something. I would
yeah.
know.
So you wouldn't know until I tell you my story. You know,
Hmm.
um. So it was hard for me to start coming out. It was hard because again, I'm a teacher, and
Hmm.
so I didn't want a lot of people at my job didn't know. And so when I decided I wanted to do this, and I'm like, okay, I got to get my story
Tell
out
your
there.
story. You got to tell your
I got
story.
to tell it. And
Hmm.
so, I just saw that different people were looking at me a little differently. I always tell my principals and things like that when I start working for them or whatever, because I want them to know what I went through and for them to know how I am. Different things would trigger me and stuff like that. So they can kind of understand if I'm having a bad day or whatever. Um, but I went ahead and decided to do this, and I wanted to have my healing within. And I was like, okay, because we believe in healing not from the outside, but from the inside.
That's right.
It start from the inside because, like I said, years of being emotionally abused. No one knew. We know how to put that smile on our face. Trust me,
I
I knew.
do.
I knew how
It's
to put
so
that
true.
smile on my face and laugh and hee hee ha ha ha. But when I get behind closed doors by myself, and that mind just keep playing it.
Yeah. Keep
And
running.
yeah, it was hard. It was
Hmm.
definitely hard. So, but yeah, I wanted to help people. We launched last May,
Hmm.
and we've been blessing women. We probably blessed over 10 women so far
Beautiful.
by helping them with resources. Um, if we don't, I have had a lady who called me and, she inboxes on Facebook, and um, she was like, "Where are y'all located?" And we were told, Greenville, North Carolina. She was in High Point, North Carolina. So thank you to all my friends and family, sorority sisters that have been posting, been sharing everything that we've been doing, because she saw it somehow up there. And she was in a domestic violence situation.
Hmm.
Her baby was only 1 pound. She was in a coma. She was in a coma. So my first question always is, are you in a safe place? Of
Hmm.
course, she's in a safe place. This happened, some time, but she was trying to find housing. So of course, I what we do is we always try to give them information, find out exactly where you at.
Hmm.
Ask that question first. Are you safe?
Mhm.
Then we always try to give them resources to help them in that
Mhm.
situation. Now, if you we give the resources and we always check back with them. Hey,
Mhm.
have you checked in? You know, how you doing? Do you need anything else? Was it helpful?
Mhm.
We have had ladies say, "Thank you for the information. I decided to stay." And of course, you can't
You can't do nothing about that.
you
They're
can't
not
push
ready.
anyone. Yeah, you can't push anyone. Now we can't just give you the information. It's up to you.
But you press that. But you see, but you did do. You planted that seed, right?
Yeah,
You planted because if for them to come that far to even ask,
yeah,
they probably took a while for them to get to that point.
right.
But when they got that information, and now when things start happening, they see a way out.
Hmm.
So it's never like in vain. It's just
Right.
that it's not their time. But you planted that seed in them, and you may hear from them again soon. You
Yeah.
know?
And we
Yeah.
always try to, do when they say something like that, we always try to check in with them. You give them, some weeks, a month and a half or so, check back with them. Hey, we're just checking in, see how you're doing. We don't push anything on anyone,
Hmm.
but we let them know because we don't we be a listening ear. Say, well, here's our number. Please give us a call if you need anything. If we can help you with anything, even if you just want to talk.
Hmm.
And so when I always send resources, I send inspirational quotes and things like that. I try to send out because when you down like that, you want to know that
Be
you're not
uplifted.
alone.
Yeah, you need to be uplifted. Right.
Yeah, you're not alone for one, and that someone care about you because you've been, that even that verbal abuse, you ain't nothing, you big and you
That
this
one
and
is
you that.
worse. That's
Oh yeah,
worse.
yeah, because you say stuff you can't take it back.
Yeah, but you could heal, physically
Yeah,
heal, but you can't
so
take
yeah.
that. So now you told me a couple of things about your my healing within. Can you just tell the Let's Talk audience exactly what services you offer? Can you do a little checklist of what you offer in your services?
So we offer resources. We are in the process of trying to get a facility for these ladies and their children. But so we are in the process of trying to get grant writers, get funding for those things.
Mm-hmm.
But right now we just been doing resources. We've been helping them financially if we can, with different things. In Greenville, we are, like I said, we located in Greenville, North Carolina. And so we would just mainly refer people to the Center of Violence, and I think it's called New Direction.
Your direction. Yeah.
And so we want to be that overflow. We want to help in overflowing with them. And so Miss Pitt, who's the director over there, we work closely together. I volunteer over there when I can. And so she already know, we also adopted a family for Christmas who's going through as a woman and her 16-year-old daughter. We just bless them. Everything that they asked for on their list, we got. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and more and more. She needed gift cards. We did whatever we could do. When we did our
Nice.
October calendar, thank you to everyone who donated that on that for the calendar. So I don't have my list in front of me. I don't want to start calling names and I
Oh
forget.
no, yeah. Let's thank everyone.
But yeah, thank you to everyone who did that because we use those funds for that. And of course, also we also went in and did more than what we actually came in. But we
Mhm.
just want to thank everybody for that. And so because being in a shelter, thank God I didn't have to go through that because I have family. Not saying these people don't have families, but to really go through that in the holiday time.
Mhm.
It was really hard.
Mhm.
So I really, wanted to bless somebody with that, with food or whatever we can do. We're always trying to help somebody. So we give, like I said, we do resources. We do events.
Mhm.
We do mental health luncheons and so people can understand what's going on in the community. Because
Mhm.
just because you're not going through it, you're not in a shelter, you're not being beat on, you're still going through something.
You
It's
know someone that's going through
Yes,
something.
you
Yeah.
either know somebody's going through or you going through it low key.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? On the DL with it.
Mhm.
You going low key with it. Everyone going through something. And
Yeah.
everyone need some resources to help somebody else or help yourself,
Yeah.
So we always have different speakers to come in and things like that. So we would love to start a support group.
Hmm.
So if you have a church or a building or something that would allow us to come in maybe once a week or every other week or something, or monthly, um, so we can have this confidential support group for domestic violence survivors, um,
Hmm.
and maybe even another night for children that been
Hmm.
through domestic violence. And of course,
Right.
it just won't be me. I will have a licensed therapist to come in to help run this meeting.
Hmm.
We're just looking for help with those things like that. So, but
Okay.
we are just trying to get our name out there. We're just trying to bless people in any way that we can to help people heal from the inside out.
There you go. That's perfect. So, as you see on the bottom of the screen, I have the information and the email, as well as the website and the Cash App. So, if it's blessed on you to be able to give to this organization, as you heard, there's a lot of people that's in need of this organization. There's the Cash App. You can go ahead, and everything is very simple. It's $ My Healing Within Inc.
Mhm.
INC. So before we close out, I want to say thank you first of all for everything you're doing. And I know God does do things that sometimes we don't understand, but He does things in a way that you're able to serve.
Yeah,
And in this, in what happened to you, and hindsight now is because you wouldn't have served in this capacity if that didn't happen to you, right? So, and like I said, nobody wishes nothing bad on nobody. Of course, we don't. Nobody don't want to go through, but he saw it and he knew you were going to make it. He knew that he was going to use you as one of his soldiers, and he has you out there doing doing this for other people who don't have that strength because it takes a lot, and you are actually strong.
thank you.
Right? Who's going through this is not as strong as you. So he had to build your strength muscles for you to do this because you got to reopen these wounds every time you help someone.
Yeah,
And that's not easy because you got to relive it and relive it and relive it. So he gave you that strength, girl. So you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and you living in your purpose. So
yeah.
congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. I know a lot of people, when I tell my story, a lot of people questions that they have is, so what happened to him? They did
Hmm.
find him the day after.
Hmm.
I was in the hospital for it happened that Thursday until that Sunday, and they found him that Friday. So I was under a triple X. If anyone don't know about triple X is like if you call the hospital right now, you can say, "Hey, can you what room number? Or can you give me the number for Regina?" Uh,
Hmm.
and they're gonna be they type in it. Oh, it's no Regina here. So if you didn't give that passcode or password or whatever, then you wouldn't know that I was there.
Okay.
So, and I found out a lot of different resources in North Carolina that they paid for my medical after my um, deductible was up.
Hmm.
I got the deductible by the time I get ride to the
Yeah.
hospital
Yeah.
and them staples. That was my deductible.
Hmm.
So not counting surgery and stuff like that, they would do that therapy. All that was paid for a year.
Yeah.
For a year. So it's a lot of resources out there that we help people get those resources out there for
Hmm.
women that they don't know about. You know.
Hmm.
So and again, please, finally in heart, if you would like to donate, please donate. We are on Facebook, Instagram, um, TikTok, and YouTube. Please, follow us. All of it's the same. My Healing Within, INC.
Hmm.
Again, My Healing Within, Inc. INC. All of that, everything on our social media platforms are the same, just to keep it simple.
Yeah. And like you said, I never, and I forgot that, I don't know, because sometimes people, I don't know, people wanted to talk, but you made a good point about the ex, because a lot of times people want to know the full story. Like, well, what happened to him? Like,
Yeah, he got 17 to 21 years. He got 17 to 21 years.
and he's serving them right now.
Hmm.
So he's
Yeah,
serving them right now. And,
he took
is,
a plea, so he could have got more than that, but he took a plea.
oh, he took a plea.
After a
Okay.
year.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, and like I said, it's so layered because, and we're gonna actually come back. I'm gonna probably have you. I'm not sure what show we're gonna be, but we may have do a live show on this because I really want. Of course, this is gonna play for a while, but maybe second quarter we'll have a live show, and hopefully we can get some people to come up there and ask questions and talk and everything else. Because, like you said, it's not just, he obviously has mental issues. He has something going on with him that he's dealing with right now. You had, some issues that you didn't realize, but you're dealing with that plus going through what you went through, and then your daughter had to experience this whole thing. So she kind of lost a dad in this too, and she was with you going through the healing. So that's a whole nother facet right there, just the children going through this. So it's so much that we could tap into, but we're going to definitely get back to that because I really want you back, and we're going to definitely get more in depth in those three areas right there.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
And
ma'am.
depth with that. So, but I want to thank you for being on the show again. And please, like I said, if you see it and you fit in your heart, if God has spoken to you, or he's telling you, and we're gonna listen because we learned. We're gonna listen
Yes.
to what he says now. So if he's telling you to come and donate, or even time,
Yes.
please do so, and you can reach out to her right there, Miss Murphy, right there. So, all right. So until next time, my Let's Talk family, I love you as I always say, and we'll be back and we'll see you next week. Y'all
Thank you
take
so
care.
much, Tara. Appreciate you.
Oh, no problem at all. Take care.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.